What happened in the Senate just hours ago wasn't a hearing. It was a massacre. One woman versus the entire Democrat establishment, and she left them in smoking ruins. Pam Bondi walked into that chamber armed with nothing but facts and fury, and what followed was the most brutal political takedown in modern history. Senators who've ruled Washington for decades were reduced to stammering children. Secrets they thought were buried forever came spilling out on live television. Career politicians who've never lost a debate were left speechless. The footage is already breaking the internet. We've got it here for you. The revelation is now sending shockwaves through the shutdown Washington. And what she exposed about certain senators change how you see Washington forever. So watch this. But you know, gold has gone mainstream. You're seeing it everywhere. Prices keep climbing every day. More and more Americans are catching on to the power of gold. But how do you actually take advantage of it? How do you invest in a way that's safe, simple, and built for the long run? That's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. Noble Gold specialists are trained to help investors just like you go from confused to confident, from wondering what's next to knowing exactly what to do. Whether you're looking to roll over an old 401k into a gold IRA or you want physical coins and bars delivered right to your home, Noble Gold makes the process simple, safe, and stress-free. You'll get step-by-step guidance, transparent pricing, and a U.S.-based service from a team that's handled over $2.5 billion in precious transactions. With Noble Gold Investments, protecting and growing your wealth isn't just their job, it is their commitment. Visit nextnewsgold.com and claim your free wealth protection kit. Find out if you qualify for that silver bonus, too. That's nextnewsgold.com. Noble Gold, helping you build a strong future. And pause the video, write down that number, 877-646-5347, 877-646-5347. Give them a call. Tell them Gary Franchi said hello. Now, the memes are coming in fast and furious from the briefing. This, I had to share this because it's so funny. Pam Bondi torching Adam Shifty Schiff.
Was she, Senator Schiff,
was she
if
right?
you worked for me, you would have been fired.
Was she,
Senator Schiff,
was she
if
right?
you worked for me, you would have been fired.
I want to know what AI tool that they're using to make that, because that was freaking awesome. Okay, so let's tear into this. There are some amazing clips from the hearing today. Eric Doherty writes, Senator Marsha Blackburn and AG Bondi exposed Senator Durbin for blocking the release of the Epstein flight logs when Biden was president. Okay, Durbin blocked the release of the Epstein flight logs. Check this out.
You listen to my...
February, you made a public claim that the Epstein client list was, quote, sitting on my desk right now for review, end of quote. You then produced already public information and no client list at a major media event hosted at the White House. Attorney General Bondi, why did you publicly claim to have the Epstein client list waiting for your review and then produce nothing relevant to that claim?
Senator Durbin, if you listen to my entire clip on that, I said I had not reviewed it yet, that it was sitting on my desk along with the JFK files, the Martin Luther King files. And I said I had not yet reviewed it. And if you see our memo on Epstein, you will see, our memo on Epstein clearly points out that there was no client list, our July 6th memo. You also didn't let me respond to the HIDTA question. The budget transfers $196 million for high-intensity drug trafficking areas to the Office of Justice Programs, OJP. The Justice Department will continue to administer those grants under OJP in 2026.
Going back to the Epstein files, according to another whistleblower who made a protected disclosure to my office, you pushed the FBI to review approximately 100,000 Epstein-related records on an arbitrarily short deadline in March, and the FBI was directed to flag any documents that mentioned President Trump. Nothing came of that review until July, when DOJ and FBI released an unsigned memo stating, quote, there's no incriminating client list. Why was the July 7th memo unsigned?
The July 7th memo came from the FBI and the Department of Justice. Director Patel answered those questions very clear. And, you know, Senator Durbin, I find it very interesting that you refused repeated Republican requests to release the Epstein flight logs in 2023 and 2024. You fought that. Did you take money from Reid Hoffman, campaign donations? who was a huge Epstein friend, why did you fight for years? Why did you fight to not disclose the flight logs, Senator Durbin?
I can tell you I did not refuse. One of the senators here wished to produce those logs, and I asked her to put it in writing, and she never did.
Yeah, I think Senator Blackburn would quarrel with you on that. But
I
that's
will
up to the
quarrel
two
with
of
you as to Reid, somebody that you mentioned I never heard of.
Reid Hoffman.
So who gave the order to flag records related to President Trump?
To flag records for President Trump?
To flag any records which included his name.
I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you, Senator.
Eventually, you're going to have to answer for your conduct in this. And you won't do it today, but eventually you will. I yield, Mr. Chairman.
I got
Mr. Chairman,
something here.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, since Senator Durbin referred to me, I would really appreciate the opportunity to correct the record.
Proceed.
Because Senator Durbin knows I repeatedly asked for those flight logs. I brought up the subpoena. You even shut down the committee because you didn't want that, and you know I submitted that in writing, and you continue to misrepresent that, and I am not going to let that record stand.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Senator Durbin.
I just want to make it clear that the reason the committee business ended was that your side invoked the 2-hour rule. Point number 2 is I asked you if you wanted any documents like flight logs to put it in writing. You never did.
Yes, sir, I did. And your staff knows that I did.
No,
We'll submit once again
send me a copy
the information to you. We've done that several times, but we'll be happy to once again send it to you. I think your staff doesn't show that to you.
February, you made a public claim.
Oh my goodness. You know what I just realized? That is the same Senate chamber on the dais where that guy filmed himself with the other guy. Oh my God. That's something I can never erase from my brain. I'm sorry. I digress. Here we go. Pam Bondi demolishing Senator Blumenthal after he accused her of impropriety.
I do have a question. In the merger that took place,
Which
that was
merger? You've
approved
listed many.
involving American Express GBT, I understand that Brian Ballard, longtime backer and head of the law firm where you worked, was instrumental in lobbying the Justice Department to drop that lawsuit. It was dismissed, so it's not subject to a court review. What conversation did you have with Mr. Ballard?
Senator Blumenthal, I cannot believe that you would accuse me of impropriety when you lied about your military service.
I am
you
not
lied.
asking
You
you.
admitted you
I am
lied
not
to be
accusing you
elected
of
a U.S. senator.
impropriety. I'm
You
asking
lied.
you
How
about
dare you? I'm a career prosecutor.
with Mr.
Don't you
Ballard,
ever challenge my integrity.
had
I have
apparently-
abided by every ethics standard. Do not question my ability to be fair and impartial as Attorney General, and anything
You'll
with
answer that
my
question to
former
another of
firm,
my colleagues.
Ballard Partners.
Blumenthal, scorched. Fatality. Senator Ted Cruz calls for the federal judge who sentenced Nicholas Roski to only 8 years for attempting to assassinate Justice Kavanaugh.
Woke now said that the attempted murderer was transgender. And because he identifies as transgender, apparently it's okay to try to kill a Supreme Court justice if your politics are sufficiently woke. Now, I know you have said the Department of Justice is going to appeal, and you absolutely should. I called this week, I believe this judge should be impeached because the judge has demonstrated she is completely unfit to be a federal judge. And what is your view of the justice of this sentence of just 8 years for the attempted murder of a Supreme Court justice?
I was speaking with our prosecutor, Ms. Mal, who did an incredible job on this case. She did an incredible job. And yet, this judge gave 8 years. And the judge also would not refer to the defendant by his biological name, referred to him by the pronouns, and was concerned about the treatment that this individual would get regarding a sex change while in prison. And we are appealing that sentence. I immediately said we are appealing that sentence.
Oh, my goodness. So your taxpayers are going to go pay for that, too? My goodness. Okay. Oh, Senator Kennedy coming in hot. Gunther Eagleman writes, there's nobody quite like Senator Kennedy. He has a way with words that will get anyone to laugh. Okay, I want to hear this. Okay, this is going to be good.
We ever finish this?
Senator Kennedy providing color commentary throughout my question.
I will be happy to. We ever finish this hearing this year?
And I'll point out Senator Kennedy has a new book about testing negative for stupid, so I hope I test negative for stupid. I hope I meet the threshold of
You
of
do
your book
meet
title.
it, and I talk in the book about the tattoo of the Backstreet Boys on your back.
Oh, my.
Look, I can't help that you don't want to reach young people. I think young people are the future, damn it, and I'll do whatever steps are needed.
Backstreet Boys?
What?
That would be on Vice President Vance's playlist, I heard, that got hacked.
What?
General Bondi, welcome. I apologize for injecting you in the middle of Senator Kennedy's antics. We can't help him. Senator Kennedy providing color commentary throughout my question.
Okay, the Backstreet Boys and tattoos were not on my bingo card today. Okay, Carrie Bonet writes, dumb as a box of rocks, Mazzy Hirono, says there's videotape of Homan taking a bribe, but displays a meme of a Monopoly man. Seriously?
Sounds like a bribe. Border czar, now border czar, Tom Homan, was videotaped taking a bag with $50,000 in cash from undercover FBI agents.
Wow, Mazzy Hirono. Seriously. Okay, you got video. Show the video. Oh, you don't have the video. You're going to show a meme instead. That's your evidence. The Monopoly man with a bag of cash. Yes, dumb as a box of rocks is an adequate description of Mazzy Hirono.
Just suggesting he could help with government contracts. Sounds like a bribe. 2 weeks ago, DOJ officials reportedly shut down the bribery investigation into Mr. Homan. Ms. Bondi, did you approve closing the Homan investigation, bribery investigation? Just get rid of that.
Senator Hirono, as I stated earlier.
Wait. Somebody whispered to Pam Bondi. Did you hear that? What? Something like, just give her something. What did she say? I'm going to try and play it back and see if we can pick up on it.
Homan investigation, bribery investigation? Just get rid of that.
Wait, hang on.
Senator Hirono, as I stated earlier.
Bribery investigation? Just get rid of that.
Senator Hirono.
Just give her the map, I think is what I heard. Just give her the map. Okay, what's going to happen now?
As I stated earlier, the Department of Justice and the FBI conducted a thorough review, and they found no credible evidence of any wrongdoing. You were also on video outside the White House.
Just get rid of that, I think that's what, to clarify.
Protesting with a group called CASA, where Antifa members were. Does that mean you're a member of Antifa?
You know, I simply asked the question as to whether or not you approve the shutting down of the investigation, Mr. Homan. I have to assume that you did because the FBI it reports to you. But the American people would look at the situation where this person is taking a $50,000 in cash, no less, and you testified today that a thorough investigation was done. Now, I have to assume, I conclude, that since no wrongdoing was determined, that in answer to Senator Whitehouse's question, he kept the money. He kept the money, and I hope that he put that on his tax returns. as income. Next question. Over 1,200 rioters
Oh,
were...
please. Oh, please. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Here's more. Delusional Dems are proving just how bad off the Democrats are by defending illegal alien invaders and criminal cartels that traffic narcotics and humans throughout America. Why don't Democrats get so nervous when Trump goes after criminals? It's because they're guilty too. Here's Pam.
Safe in Memphis, pulled to work on immigration cases. They're working hand in hand because we believe that, you know, we have ICE officers out there, as we just discussed. I don't want to repeat that, who are being harmed. We're going to work with them, and I've directed all of my law enforcement agencies to work with ICE to make sure they're safe in Chicago, to make sure they're safe in Memphis, to make sure they're safe right here in Washington, D.C., but also at President Trump's direction. We are not stopping the core function of what we're doing, and that is fighting violent crime. And I think Director Patel made that very clear with all of the arrests that our FBI have been making on violent criminals. And, you know, there's so much that we can't talk about here, but if any of you are on the Intel Committee, you know we are fighting terrorists around this country every single day. Our lawyers are shut down right now. They're not getting paid, but crime is not stopping. They are working around the clock to not only keep our country safe, Senator, but to keep our world safe. And
Madam Attorney. And okay, we got some more here. Let's see. We've got, Pam Bondi unloading on Senator Coons after he tried to say that the indictments against Comey were unwarranted. Oh boy, let's go.
A real question, gravely concerned about what is no longer a hypothetical question, which you refused to answer in your confirmation hearing, but is a real question about when or if the president demands you prosecute individuals because he views them as opponents or enemies, what you will do and what your limiting standard is, because the recent episode around the indictment of James Comey left me very concerned about the direction of the department.
We're a minute and a half over, Senator. Chairman, may I answer?
Yes.
Senator Coons, as you have stated in the past, no one is above the law. And James Comey is a pending case right now. It's a pending indictment. He was indicted by one of the most liberal grand juries in the country, by our U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan, right here in Virginia. And it's a pending case, so I'm not going to discuss the facts of a pending case.
But you can understand the alarm about the circumstances of the indictment immediately following President Trump demanding that you take action to indict and prosecute that specific individual. Thank you. Gravely concerned about what is no longer a hype.
Okay, we got more. We got more. Okay. Senator Klobuchar losing her mind. Enough outrage. Let's see the perp walks. I don't even know where to go next, man. Okay, man. Wow, there's so many clips from this hearing. Pam Bondi stunning Amy Klobuchar. Let's go to this one. Hawley called out every Senate Democrat for refusing to care.
Say manner of things and the current president. I've also heard them said, and I just wrote it down because I wanted to be sure I heard it correctly. I've heard them say that Joe Biden never targeted his political enemies. Joe Biden never directed his attorney general to target his political opponents. That's interesting, because I could have sworn that yesterday we learned that the FBI tapped my phone. Let's look at it. We've got a list. Tap my phone, tapped Lindsey Graham's phone, tapped Marsha Blackburn's phone, tapped 5 other phones of United States senators. Gee, it sure looks like targeting political opponents to me, and yet I haven't heard a word from that side of the dais about any concern whatsoever. We've got nothing but concerns today, but no concern at all for a Justice Department that is tapping the phones of sitting United States senators because who knows why. They don't like them. They're members of the opposition party. They're Republicans. They're conservatives. You've seen this document, Attorney General Bondi. Well, what was going on here? Who ordered this? Who ordered the tapping of the phones of United States senators?
Senator Hawley, I cannot discuss the details of that right now for very good reason.
You're going to do a thorough investigation into this, I trust. Is that correct?
We will be looking at all aspects of this, and I have talked to Director Patel at length about
And
this.
you're going to figure out who was involved in this, who signed off all manner of things, and the current president. I've also...
She can't speak to it. That means they're investigating it right now. Pam Bondi stunning Amy Klobuchar.
Working. Senator Klobuchar, I'm not going to discuss personnel decisions, but the personnel issue that I'm having right now is that all of my agents, all of my lawyers are working. My agents are on the street working without a paycheck because your party voted to shut down the federal government.
Yeah, that's about right. Klobuchar losing her mind about far-left activists that Bondi's kicked out of the DOJ.
Independent and must act in response. This was you. Politics will not play a part in my decisions. And you also said the Justice Department must be independent and must act independently. Do you believe that you have upheld that commitment?
I absolutely have upheld that commitment, Senator. I pledged that I would end the weaponization also of the Justice Department and that America would once again have a one-tier system of justice for all. And that is what we are doing in this country.
We saw this with the president directing an investigation prosecution of Chris Krebs, the former head of cybersecurity, Lisa Cook, who is the current governor of the Federal Reserve, Director Comey. And the president, and I know you have said that you will not discuss discussions you've had with the president about Comey. Is that correct? That you won't testify here about that? Because I was going to ask you if you received advice, instruction, or request from anyone at the White House to direct the department to engage in any investigations, prosecutorial actions, including decisions not to investigate or prosecute anyone.
I'm not going to discuss any conversations.
But then how about the Truth Social post on September 20th, 2025, in which the president said, we can't delay any longer, Pam, using your name, not bringing criminal charges, are killing our reputation, his words, and credibility. And then goes on to tell you to prosecute a member of this committee, to prosecute the Attorney General of New York, and to prosecute James Comey. Do you consider that a directive to the Justice Department?
Senator Klobuchar, President Trump is the most transparent president in American history. And I don't think he said anything that he hasn't said for years.
Okay, it has been reported that you initially pushed back against requests by senior Trump administration officials to push out or fire the acting U.S. attorney in Virginia, Eric Siebert, who's a conservative Republican, who made the decision that the evidence was not there to prosecute Comey. What made you change your opinion?
I am not going to discuss personnel decisions.
Okay. Is it true that the career prosecutors in the Eastern District of Virginia found that there was insufficient evidence to bring criminal charges against former Director Comey?
I am not going to discuss pending cases because Comey was indicted in the Eastern District of Virginia by, I may point out, one of the most liberal grand juries in the country.
Okay, let's go on to other firings or terminations. Last week, the Justice Department fired at least 2 senior attorneys in the Eastern District of Virginia, including the office's national security chief, Michael Benary. It is reported that his firing came following criticism from a right-wing social media commentator who wrote, "One can only assume he was part of the internal resistance in the Comey indictment. In fact, he did not work on the Comey case. Instead, he was working on pursuing justice for service members killed in Afghanistan." How does...
Okay, Klobuchar. Nice try. Okay. Let's check in with the... Let's go. This will be our last clip. This is the best part.
General Todd the National Guard is on the way right now as we speak. Oh, by the way, so is Director Patel and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. You're sitting here grilling me, and they're on their way to Chicago to keep your state safe.
Madam Attorney General, it's my job to...
Mic drop. If you got value for this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. This is what happens when the truth meets the swamp head on. Pam Bondi didn't just win a debate today. She exposed the rot at the heart of our government. Durbin blocking Epstein flight logs, Blumenthal stolen ballot, Klobuchar defending a shutdown while agents work without pay. These aren't public servants, they are public enemies. Every stammering denial, every desperate deflection, every attempt to change the subject prove one thing. They're terrified because Trump's team has the receipts. The days of polite Republicans rolling over are done. Bondi showed what it looks like when our side finally fights back with the same intensity they've used against us for years. So here's the question. Should every senator who voted to keep the government shut down forfeit their own paychecks until it reopens? Yes or no? Sound off below. Let's have a conversation. This was just day one. Imagine what's coming next, and you can gear up for the battle ahead at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.